Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Real Intentions podcast by Realistic Intentionality. I'm Dani,
And I'm Dylan.
and we are going to be co hosting this show permanently now.
Hey.
You like that soft launch where we had Dylan as a guest multiple times, and then he interviewed me, and now all of a sudden we got a different name and two hosts? How do you like that?
I also got my podcast launched now, too. What?
You do? Yeah, so
Hell yeah.
you got to straighten out your handles.
Yeah, I gotta do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I gotta make a lot of pages and all that good stuff.
Because I'd love to plug your Instagram, but you don't really use it. And so that's probably going to get redone and all of that. But his first two episodes are up of his podcast. So you can look that up on YouTube and Spotify, which is
Yep. Wandering Waters.
Wandering Waters. So WANDERING Waters. WATERS.
Yep. My plan is to get a list of, get a catalog and then kind of focus in on the marketing and spreading the word. But I want to get like a big catalog of episodes first and then go down that route.
That's good. I did that with this one where I had 4 episodes backlogged, and then the 5th one was released on my premiere date. And I was really glad I did that because it kind of got me into like the kind of figuring out and ironing out the actual production end. And everyone knows that I don't really market that much, so I'll get into it eventually. I'm actually on another podcast, Two Mamas No Manual, with my dear friend Leah. She was on episode 3. And so we do a little bit more on marketing side on that one. So you can always find me there and all my other handles.
Nice.
So this was the Realistic Intentionality guest pod, but now we're kind of moving into this era where we might have guests here and there, but we're also going to really hone in on the intentional living aspect and self-improvement because that's really what I'm passionate about. And I still will continue to highlight amazing, real people with real intentions, which is why I shifted the name to the Real Intentions podcast. Realistic Intentionality is still the greater platform name, but that's kind of hard to like type, especially when people are like trying to listen to a podcast while like working or driving. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just like shorten it. Just make it a little shorter, make it a little easier. So this is now
I like the name.
the Real Intentions podcast. I'm so surprised it wasn't taken.
I know. It does seem like I don't know.
It's like
a nice name. It's a good name for sure.
I literally went Realistic Intentionality because I was struggling to find a name that wasn't taken that like embodied everything I wanted it to embody. And yet it's so funny that like I overlooked and the rest of the world overlooked just like the Real Intentions podcast. But we're here and we're queer and we're ready to rock.
All right. Thanks.
Today, we are talking about our intentional journey with using kind of atomic habits and other methods to make and break good and bad habits. I could have worded that so much easier in so many different ways. We are all the methods of all the things we've ever done to make a good habit and break a bad one.
Nice. So where do we start with it?
Well,
do we want to start with what we learned in the book or what we're trying to do with our life?
So, I guess we'll start with the book. If you guys have not heard, there's a book by James Clear called Atomic Habits. And Atomic Habits is based off a bunch of psychological studies and principles and phenomenon about how your brain works and how habits are formed and also consequently how habits are broken. James Clear kind of made it into the the cue response model. Is that what it is? I think it's the cue response model where it's a loop where you get cued to something and then that triggers you into like some sort of pathway, and then that pathway kind of causes you to make a response, and then you get a reward. So, like, if you see a donut shop, you are then triggered to kind of want a donut because they smell good and you know they're full of sugar and awesomeness. So then your response is then to buy a donut, and then your reward is that you had a donut. But if you're on a diet and you're not trying to get a donut, this is actually a bad habit. So he talks about how you can then break bad habits by when you get cued to it, you can try to make it invisible, avoid the donut shop. When you are being triggered to it, make it unattractive. So that's when you like remind yourself that the donut is not with your aligned desires and intentions. Then if you then go to your response, you make it difficult. So you make sure you don't have money on you, or because you did walk out of the way from the donut shop, you would have to walk a few more blocks and find your wallet and all that. And then your reward would then be reminding yourself that you have the satisfaction that you did not get the donut and you stayed on your good habits. Now let's say you're trying to gain weight. You need that donut. That donut is aligned with you either treating yourself and your coworkers, or you're trying to bulk up, you want some calories, whatever it is, right? Then you want your cue to be obvious. You want to go to that donut shop. You want that trigger to be attractive. You want to remember, oh, I want to pick up these donuts for my coworkers, or I do want to eat these sugars or carbs for whatever reason people might. Then your response would then be easy. You have the money. You're ready. You have a gift card. You're ready to get that donut, and then your reward is that you did. So it's basically looking at habits through that lens of cue, trigger, response, and reward, whether you're trying to make the habit or break it. And it's just about the differences of making it obvious or making it invisible, making it attractive, making it unattractive, making it easy and making it difficult, or making it satisfying or unsatisfying, right?
Nice.
And if you guys are impressed by how I just regurgitated that.
You did. You said a bunch of stuff that I was going to say, but...
Sorry. I did make a separate YouTube video about Atomic Habits because I did read it a month ago. So if you want to hear more about that, definitely check out that YouTube video and read the book. But yeah, here, you can add things.
No, you said all the stuff that I was going to say.
Oh.
I don't even know. Sorry, I'm still waking up.
Well, you just finished the book.
Yeah. I listened to an audiobook while I was working. But I also learned a lot from the book while you were reading it, and you were talking to me about it.
And I made you watch my video.
Yeah. So I feel like I've already been kind of implementing the techniques into my life and have been dialing in. So a lot of it is focusing on systems rather than goals, right? So you have a goal in mind, and so you want to focus on the little things you do every day to get there versus
right, because
like,
little changes
compound. Yeah,
like compound. That's where it's like you change 1% every day. That's still going to be a 365% change by the end of the year. Is that the math?
I mean, that's the right amount of days. I'm not sure if that's how math works, but
so maybe like
I'm not sure that's how compounding works.
You get to 100% in the year at least. I don't know.
Somewhere between 100 and 365%. I don't know.
Did it? I was going so good until math got involved. Yeah. So what you're saying is like changing the systems.
Bruh.
Wow, Dylan. Your phone went off during the pause.
Wow.
How unprofessional of
what
this
co-host.
What a bad habit.
Need to break that habit.
Yeah, so you were saying that it's the systems, right? And that's kind of represented in that cue response loop and model. Because if you design your systems with that in mind, so you design systems.
Bro.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
Why aren't you
I don't know.
Who's texting? I feel like I'm getting pranked right now. You never get text this often.
I know. They're airplane mode. No text for... Wait, now I can't look nothing up. Whatever, fuck it. No text for Dylan anymore.
You're not going to look anything up. Well, I already stole all your thunder, apparently.
Yeah, that's all I got looked up, so...
All right, yeah, I was about to hijack the system, so you go. You talk about the systems.
I don't know anything else. I just know what you said.
You read the book.
I listened to the book. Thank you very much. Got nothing.
All right, so the systems, if you're trying to make the habit, you want your systems to make it easy, make it...
Oh, yeah, I do have that. Hold up.
Okay.
The core method relies on the 4 laws of behavior change. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and satisfying.
So when you are trying to implement a better habit in your life, you want to make sure your systems align with that. So if your desire is to play guitar more, right? Which is actually one of your desires.
You too.
Yeah. So if we want to play the guitar more, we need to make sure our system in our life makes it obvious. So one thing is like, we gonna keep the guitar tucked away in a closet where we walk by it a million times and don't even see it, don't think about it, or are we going to keep it out so that we see it and are reminded of it and going into that cue?
Yeah.
Right. So that is a way that we are now changing our structure of our environment, which is a big thing in this book, to have a system that aligns with making it obvious.
Right.
Then it's like, okay, how do we make it attractive? Well, if you have your guitar that has old strings and stuff, and your amp is a stupid Squire little piece of shit that doesn't work.
She's right there.
She's right there.
Jeez.
It's not going to be attractive. But if you got the cool setup, and the cool guitar.
With the sweet pick guard.
Yeah. With a little wooden engraving of a snail on it.
Yeah.
It's going to be, super attractive.
Another big thing too is making the thing a part of who you are rather than something you do.
Yeah.
So for me, a big habit that was very important for me to get back into is going to the gym every day.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like making that a part of like who I am as a person, as a gym goer, as a person who's like, I go to the gym every day, and that's going to be the rest of my life.
Right, because that's attractive
like
and satisfying.
Yeah.
Because you want to be that person.
Yeah.
And you also know you could be that person.
Yeah.
So it makes it attractive that, like, okay, like, if I go to the gym, if I play guitar, I'm going to be a musician. I'm going to be a gym goer.
Right.
Yeah. And so you build your systems around your environment and your sense of self, your identity.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like hacking into your system of like your systems to make sure they align with the or obvious, attractive, easy, satisfying by using your environment to make it all those things and shifting your identity to make it all those things. So it's like we have this system, the cue response system, and we know that we can shape our identity to help with that system, and we can shape our environment to help with that system.
Another a part with in terms of the systems is like working other systems around making that thing as easy as possible. So like, I'm not going to the gym in the mornings now, but I was. And what I would do as part of my nightly routine and system, I would like get a bunch of things ready the night before to make the next day just super easy. Like my outfits are already out and picked out, food's made, drinks made all the night before. That way it's like super easy to just like grab and go, and you're starting your daily routine the day before rather than the day of. So you're like already set up for success.
Right. Exactly. Because then that makes it obvious because all your stuff is out.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it easy that you can grab it. Attractive because you make your outfits cute, right? And satisfying because you are all ready to go.
Yeah.
Now, breaking a habit, right? if we're trying to break a habit, then that's what, as we said, like the donut shop, where it's like you want to make it invisible, unattractive,
Out of sight, out of mind.
difficult, yep, and unsatisfying.
Yeah.
And so, if people commonly use like the smoking cigarettes thing, where it's like, okay, don't have packs of cigarettes laying around. Don't have your ashtray anymore. Throw out your ashtray so you don't see it. It's
Get rid of
invisible.
your lighters.
Yep. Make it difficult. Don't have lighters. Don't have the cigarettes. Make it unattractive. Remember that, like, it'll give you bad breath and cancer or whatever. And then, one of the things that he also said when it comes to the satisfying and the unsatisfying is like have a tracker, right? Or an accountable blah, 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 an accountability buddy, right?
Accountability buddy.
Right. That's the word. Where it's like you either have to mark on a calendar every day that you're successful. So then if you screw up a day, it's going to suck. Because then you're like, oh, I broke my streak. And then you have to start over. Or you have to like tell your buddy, like, hey, I smoked a cigarette. It's unsatisfying. That doesn't scratch all those satisfaction itches in your brain to do those things. So that helps. Now, I would say that, like, personally, when I read that part, I also think it's important to not let yourself go into, like, a guilt spiral. And so I believe James Clear actually mentioned it in his book, too, where you don't want to mess up 2 days in a row, right? Like, you want to make sure, because if you keep messing up, you're going to keep shame spiraling. And you're not going to actually, when you feel shame, you want to avoid the thing that causes you shame. So then you're going to avoid thinking about your habit at all. And so then you're going to go right back into your autopilot. And so to avoid getting back into the autopilot of not doing the good habit or doing the bad habit, you really need to stay dedicated and disciplined. And so it's okay. You're human. You can mess up a day or two. But really, you should try not to. You should try to get back on the wagon as soon as possible. Because if you do start to shame spiral, then you kind of start you won't get your redemption. Because you're going to then be mentally avoiding even thinking about it. He also said, I just got that brief thought where don't make your goals and your desires too up here, like the highest standards, like, oh, I'm gonna upload a YouTube video every single day for a year. It's like, that's not realistic. You're gonna have days that you're sick, you're gonna have family emergencies. That's not realistic. And so it's gonna feel difficult, and the minute you screw up, you're gonna just want to scrap the whole thing. You need to make sure that what you're going after is achievable and realistic, which was a big thing that I really liked, because this whole platform is based on doing things like a real person, which is like realistic. And so you have to remember, like, you can't just freaking shoot for the stars, right? You want to have real, tangible milestones.
Yeah.
And if you miss a day, don't shame yourself, but just remember, like, I don't want to miss another day. My phone's going off too. No, actually, that's not my phone. I think that's the iPad, because my phone is on silent. Yeah, we're both bad. We got internet finally, but now all of my all my little devices, my Apple devices, are synced up. What are you doing? Oh, are they all him?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Hold on.
The internet's off now. I just got it back off.
Oh, we can't look at them? I'm
Yeah,
so
no, we
curious
can, sure.
now. I need the tea. I'm trying not to gossip. I can talk about that. That's a habit I'm trying to break. Yeah, I'm trying not to gossip, which...
How's that going?
It's okay. It's difficult because it was so ingrained in my upbringing. Like, my family, everyone talks about each other all the time, relentlessly. And my family's also pretty judgmental. They're not like bad people, like very good-hearted, but just like, they see things for how they see things, and then they talk about it. And like, listen, I get it. I've been in the same boat. And I actually like figured out a lot of my gossiping is a result of me trying to figure out like the world around me, right? So it's like, and I know that sounds like a stretch, but hear me out, guys. Okay, so like I had a dysfunctional childhood. My family was not by any means stable or functional. And so it affected me where I felt the need to analyze everyone and everything for a sense of understanding. So like I felt the need to understand like why is my mom doing this? Why is my dad doing this? Why is my brother doing this? Like and so I would analyze people from a very early age so that I could predict their patterns easier. And so growing up, that then manifested as just analyzing people, which is kind of like intellectual way of just saying judging. Like I would watch people and like judge and analyze them for my own understanding. But then how that manifested into gossiping would be then, especially as I got older, I realized I was aware or picking up these things because I was analyzing people in a way a lot of people don't. And so when I would have like a friend being like, oh, why did Bob do this? Or why did Susie do this? I would then be like, oh, well, Bob is going through this, this, and this. And or Susie has this, this, and this. And I would try to explain using my analyses like, oh, that's what's happening. But the reality is that is gossip. Even if it's true, even if I'm doing it for the sake of having other people understand, it's still gossip, and I still would get so like paranoid that somehow they were going to find out I said that. And it's like so intrusive to be like analyzing people and then telling people about my findings. Like it so
Yeah, it's gotten you into a few pickles.
yeah.
Not like actual pickles, but where you've like
I
gotten
get
like paranoid
anxious.
and like, anxious. Yeah.
It used to get me into pickles because then when I would have a conflict with someone, I would give them a analysis thesis.
Give them your. Let me tell you my findings on you.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it always. I'm not saying I'm always right, but it does always shine light on things that people don't want to hear from others, right? Even if it's not right. So, yeah, I've I've gotten into trouble with it. And so I told Dylan, I was like, I'm going to stop gossiping. That is now my habit that I'm trying to break. And I've noticed through, like, the cue is people talking to me. Like, the cue is just people initiating it, right? And so then I have to kind of address my trigger, which is like, oh, this is triggering. Like, they're saying something about someone that I understand, and they're not understanding. And it's like, I am getting triggered because of my childhood trauma of feeling like my it's like my autopilot need to like analyze people, and then also feeling like everyone else deserves to know that information for their own understanding and safety. But it's like, no, like they don't need to know what Susie and Bob be doing. Like they don't need that for their safety. So then I have to kind of change my response into not just saying what I think and feel, even if I know it's probably true or it's for a good intention, but just like, no, I'm not going to talk about this. And then my reward is just hopefully gain less anxiety about talking about people when they're not in the room.
Right.
But that's a habit I've been really trying to break. And I'll tell you, it's been nice understanding it and like getting to know where that habit stemmed from, and like understanding that it was from a place of like a defense mechanism and like a safety in my dysfunctional childhood. But it's like, I don't need that now. And it's like, even if I recognize those things consciously or subconsciously, I don't need to speak on them, right? I can try to have hope, and I can just try not to expect much.
Yeah, you've definitely struggled with it at moments. I feel like it's like when you get the urge to gossip or something, and then you like realize that you are trying not to. It's like a dopamine drop.
Yeah, it sucks. And then it's like, also, I think because all my friends have always known me as that kind of person, that now they like say things and I can tell they like want the answer. They want the analysis.
They want the tea.
Yeah, and it's like,
give me the tea.
it's like I don't know. I don't know. And it's like I know my intentions were good, but people don't view it like that, and that's not an excuse. The road to hell is paved by good intentions. So,
Right.
yeah. What's a habit you're trying to break?
A habit I'm trying to break. Probably like frivolous spending.
I thought you were gonna say taking too long to wake up,
Oh, yeah.
because that's what we were just doing today.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I was on a good schedule of like getting up and going to the gym first thing in the morning, and then my work schedule shifted around a bit, and now it's like gym later in the day, and so it's not the first thing that I'm doing. And so yeah, getting up and going and getting the grogginess going away. Yeah, I'm trying to work that out for sure.
It's tough because you technically are getting more sleep now than you were with your past job,
Yeah.
but the schedule's just not aligned with what you've always been used to. So
Yeah.
it's like,
I'm used to rising with the sun. And,
well, before the sun.
yeah, way before the sun actually, but
Now you're like having to shift your time a little differently, and
yeah, so it's like not the natural rhythm of the world, and so yeah. Yep, so getting sunlight first thing in the morning, trying to get somewhat active, take the dog for a walk, that kind of stuff,
yeah.
like early on, and yeah, just get going sooner.
Well,
That
how
way I
can
have
you
more time.
apply your cue, trigger, response, and reward around that?
Well, it's definitely attractive to have more time in the day, and more time awake and alert in the day. You can get more stuff done, so that's attractive. What's the other ones?
All right, so the cue would be
Like the trigger?
the obvious. No, so
Obvious.
obvious or invisible. So how can you make waking up earlier or quicker, waking up quicker, more obvious?
I feel like I don't need to do that because you and River make it pretty obvious.
Oh, but then you get no. I think so. I think the problem is, so I've been waking him up, but you get so annoyed at us. Like, unfortunately, it just comes to us. So I think a way to make it obvious for you would be like setting an alarm across the room. So it is blaring unless you physically get up. Because that's the hard thing. Is like you'll wake up, but you just won't get up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the tough part.
Yeah, so probably making it obvious would.
And I struggled with that back in like my past. I couldn't struggle with that like the past couple years because it was like I had to wake up and I had to like get up and go to work by a certain time.
Right.
It was wild to me that I was able to like implement going to the gym that early and actually like discipline myself to do that. It's like wild to think about now that I'm feeling what I'm feeling when I wake up now. But now it's like I don't actually have to get up for anything when I get up.
Right, you have
It's
a
just
cushion of time.
Yeah, there's a cushion of time, and it's the thing I have to look forward to if I get up earlier is just more time, which is valuable. And so yeah.
So that would be another way of making it obvious is I always open the curtains before I wake you up so that you can see that's like, okay, the sun is up. Like there, it's not like, because I feel like sometimes you like trick yourself in thinking it's earlier than it is. And it's like, no, like it is time to wake up. And so making it obvious would be like having the curtains open, which I do. Putting an alarm on across the room, which like I could do that. I can come like open the curtains, wake you up, and then
Well, I think I need to do it because I don't know. I
get
think there's-
pissed.
I think there's
You get
something.
pissed at us.
Yeah, I think I need to set my alarm and come up with a time because, yeah, I need to know this. Like, all right, I set out to wake up at this time, and it's not just Danielle and River wanting me to get up because they're bored.
Right, because it never is. And like in fact, you've been saying you've wanted to wake up an hour earlier. You're like, oh, I want you to start waking me up an hour earlier, and I'm just like, so it's like you did want an hour earlier, and then we went back to the regular time, but then sometimes you'll go even an hour later than that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so those are ways we can make it obvious for you. And then what are some ways that you make it unattractive to sleep in or attractive to wake up. Because in the past, that was the gym. You wanted to get to the gym. So how can you make it attractive now?
I would say probably like making plans, like making fun plans during the day. Like having something to get up to go do, having something to look forward to.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, I got to get up because I need to get ready and get woke up so I can go do this fun activity.
Yeah.
Like going and playing tennis or...
You do get excited for the coffee, but
Yeah.
unfortunately you can have that at any point. But it's like, yeah, maybe having something where it's like, this has to happen, like now.
Yeah. Yeah. Having something to get up and go do, like outside the house, motivates me to get up and go on quicker.
Okay, so then how do you make it easy then to wake up?
Should I make it easy? I don't know.
Maybe like, well, first off, if you have an alarm blaring across the room, that's like so annoying.
Yeah.
That'll make it easy. Also, you always need to piss like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So you would think that would make it easier for you, but you just like to sit with it and bitch about it.
No. Not true. Not true.
Get off my bladder. That's what, whenever I like go to like hug him in the morning and stuff, I'll like, kind of lean on here and he'll be like, get off my bladder. It's like, just piss,
I don't
bro.
even realize how bad I gotta piss until you do that. It's like, oh, damn.
Yeah. And then Sophie theoretically could make it easy because she's always a nightmare. She's always just to get away from Sophie.
Yeah.
Because if you're in the bed, she's always in the bed.
Yes. Get away from Sophie. Very attractive.
Very easy. Yeah. And then I guess just the reward is the fact that you get more time. You get more day.
More day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
And then
okay.
so the act of setting the alarm, opening the curtains, all that, those are the systems. And then there's the systems of the environment. And then there's also the systems of the identity. You want to be someone that only sleeps X amount of hours and is awake this amount of hours. Mm-hmm. So that would be then your identity. Or if you do start going to the gym when you wake up at this current time, you would be identifying as like, I want to be a gym goer.
Yeah, maybe I need to do that. Yeah, I don't know. But I'm on the fence about that one.
Yeah.
Whether or not, because I do like going when I go now, but it does help me get up and get going.
Now, a thing that you did to help before your job timing shifted, you were microdosing mushrooms.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was very helpful, I think, and it's helped in the past too. I microdosed LSD, probably 7 or 8 years ago, when I was also like really into going to the gym and like disciplined for like a whole year of going like every day. Had like my name up on the wall as like, for going like every day of the month or something like that. But yeah, I would wake up. So the theory, or the way to think about it is like they say that psychedelics basically rewire like neural pathways, like dead neural pathways or whatnot, and they kind of compare it to like plowing snow on a ski on a mountain, right? So it's like you get these grooves from habits, and psychedelics are a way to kind of wipe that so you can create new grooves. So I figured I want to get in the habit of going to the gym, and this could be with any habit. And so you microdose and then do the habit that you're trying to implement to kind of ingrain that in your brain, to like make a intentional groove or an intentional habit by microdosing.
Yeah.
And that seemed to work really good.
Yeah. And so he doesn't talk about that in the book, but he does talk about how there is that part of the brain that creates these pathways, because your brain always wants to do the easiest route to reward. Your brain's designed for that. And so unfortunately, when we form these grooves of like, okay, the brain wants dopamine and it knows it can get dopamine from donuts and doom scrolling, those things are easy to do. So your brain's going to constantly want to go those pathways. So when you do purposely change your pathways, whether you're doing it through just really intentional mindful decision making, which is something I've always talked about on this platform and also is, you know, very closely related to atomic habits, or using medicines or hypnotherapy to carve new pathways, that is important because then your brain realizes, oh, that pathway isn't difficult. It's not difficult for me to get the dopamine from just driving out to the gym right now. Even though someone might be like, that is so hard. Once you've ingrained that pathway, your brain doesn't view it as hard. It's just habit. Like for me, I remember sitting down to edit podcasts was so difficult. It was so annoying knowing that I had to sit down for hours and just stare at my computer. But I've done it so many times now that I actually start doing it on autopilot and I don't actually have to force myself. I just know like, okay, I'm going to sit down and do this for 2 hours. And it's like, no matter what the task is, if you turn it into a habit, your brain will view it as easy because it's part of a routine.
They say, so I keep hearing this, and it's relevant. I think it was in the book. It was definitely in the book, but I've also heard it in other places. Like the most successful people, the people who seem on the outside to have the most discipline and willpower, actually they say that they barely use discipline and willpower at all because their systems and habits are so like intentionally like orchestrated to where they rarely even have to use discipline or willpower.
That's a good point. That was in the book too, where he's like, you cannot rely on discipline and willpower because
You're not always going to feel good.
We're real people.
Yeah.
We're real people. We have to understand that like we're going to be sick some days. We're going to get crammed with work some days. Something's going to come up with a loved one and we're going to have to
you can't force yourself to do something you don't want to, but for so long.
Right.
It has to be a part of you. It has to be a part of your daily system and routine. Mm-hmm. And then, it comes into the whole compounding thing.
Right.
But, yeah, it can't be, you can't just rely on willpower and discipline.
No. And you can't rely, another thing he talked about in the book is like, you can't rely on just having a goal, right? And he said that winners and losers both have the same goal. The difference between a winner and a loser was the systems of their training, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, everyone wants the same thing, right? Everyone wants a bunch of money, a nice house, a loving partner, and to feel fulfilled. Find me someone that doesn't want that, right? But what are the systems of people's relationships? Are they picking fights or are they focusing on conflict resolution? Are they cleaning their house, redoing it, maintaining it, or are they just letting it go? Are they going out trying to find money-making opportunities, or are they just spending a bunch of money, right? So it's like these systems that everyone wants the same goals. So you can't just like write a goal or put it on a vision board and like make it a thing, but then not change anything of your life. And that was a big thing that I struggled with the law of attraction, right? Because early 20s spirituality was all about manifestation and law of attraction. If you just embody the vibe, it will come effortlessly. And
I think that's true, but embodying the vibe means putting in the action and work.
The vibe is
habits,
the work, right? People think it's just like, oh, if I put on a suit and go to $1 million open house home, one day I'll buy, right? And it's like, some people will be like, oh, I won a sweepstakes, or like I won the lottery, and it's like, that's great, but you still have to play the lottery. You still have to enter the sweepstakes.
Yeah.
It's like, you have to still do the things,
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's more than just vision boards and the identity.
Yeah. Like that whole thing is like step 1 of like 10 steps. It's like, visualize, feel, think, all that good stuff. But like most of it is do, and like do daily and keep doing.
Right. And a big thing that, this one's so tough for me, but like, I know it's the truth, is that it will seem like nothing is happening and then there will be a breakthrough. And he talks about that in the book, where it's like, because it compounds over time. And it's, think about like when you're working out or trying to lose weight, it's like you don't really see it every day, but then when you look at it before and after 6 months, you're like, wow, there's a visual difference. And it's like these small little things will compound. And so it's like, it's going to feel like nothing's happening. It's going to feel like there's no progress. And, you know, I can really say that from even just like podcasting and creating content. It's like, I still only have 100 subscribers, you know, but the reality is, a year ago, I started at 0. I didn't use a shell account or anything. I started from 0 and now I'm at 100. And that's only in the first year. And so that's what, 100% growth. Is that math?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So it's like, if I keep going at this rate, at some point there will be a breakthrough that all of a sudden the algorithm topples over and accommodates. Yeah. Just like how when you are doing strength training or trying to work out, there will be a point where all of a sudden working out will be easier to push a little harder. And then all of a sudden you're going to start progressing quicker.
Right. Yeah. And this is kind of off topic a little bit, but they say like whether it's businesses or anything that you're doing or whatnot, it's either growing and evolving or dying. So it's like progress. As long as you're making progress on your goals and not like there's no being stuck or stagnant. It's like, it's either growing or like diminishing.
Right.
It's not, you can't just coast in the same place.
Right. Know? But don't shame yourself if you have. You know, it's like you can always do better, right?
Yeah, you just notice and make the changes you need necessary.
It is hard to like make changes without the knowledge. So it's like reading these kind of books, whether it's Atomic Habits or any other kind of self-improvement book, it's just a means of a way to understand so that you can maybe look at yourself and your situation and your systems or routines or goals and a little more, with a little more of a foundational understanding, right? So it's like, had I looked at all of my stuff 10 years ago, right, I wouldn't have been able to do anything. I wasn't. I was a chronic, like, starter, not finisher, right? And I never finished anything, and I never stayed with anything. And now I am someone that has stayed with a content creation business for, you know, over a year. And like, I am adopting these habits, but not because I suddenly grew up and transcended my bullshit. It was because I learned. I took time to watch YouTube videos of like how to finish projects, how to do morning routines, night routines, whatever. Like you need to give yourself the chance to know the life hacks, right? And Atomic Habits is a great example. All of the things that you learned about mushrooms and microdosing, that helped you. All the things that I learned about mindfulness and like empowered decision making, even to help me to create this platform. You have to give yourself the fighting chance, and it's not your fault that you didn't know these things. I mean, psychology is complex, and it's not like they teach this in school. You know, they'll teach us about our emotions and our health, but then we focus on academics. So unless you really take time to learn this, or you have someone teaching you it, you're not going to know. It's just not, it's not apparent knowledge. Mm-hmm. Luckily, I do think we are kind of shifting with the internet, kind of going into a personal development and self-growth mindset, you know?
Yeah, a lot more. It's crazy, like the amount of people that are well-versed in a lot of the things that people used to had never heard of.
Well, think about it. It's like when we were growing up, we had what was on TV, and then what was in books. But it's like, when we were kids, like what we were reading, you know what I mean?
Right. Now, and then nowadays, like, just your everyday random person, like, knows everything that's going on in politics. They know all these like books that are famous. You know, everybody listens to like numerous podcasts. Yeah, like, just like the information like boom is just like.
I know more people that have read The Power of Now, you know, than I think I know people that haven't.
Yeah, pretty much everyone I know.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. It's like, because these books then go viral, and then people do the little TikTok clips of like the things you need to know, or make YouTube videos like I did with Atomic Habits.
Yeah,
Like,
so like even if you hadn't read it, like you can still get the
you can still
information.
absorb it.
Right.
It's becoming more mainstream in our consciousness. And
Yeah.
because people aren't just watching reality TV all the time or like sitcoms all the time, we're also absorbing content created by people. It is kind of nice because people have been kind of sharing their stories and their perspectives. And yeah, there's a lot of bullshit, obviously, but there's also a lot of good that has allowed this so that you can then find the things that you need for your own life to refine yourself and your systems.
Absolutely. Absolutely. For
Yeah.
sure.
It's like really it's very encouraging. You know, like I do think that personal growth and personal development becoming kind of like trendy as like a self-care thing. As much as people, you know, will try to sell you apps and crystal water bottles, like it's still good. It's still good. We just had a pee break, and like I'm feeling so like I just want to get comfy. Hold on.
I know, dude. We need new mics up. I always feel like I can't like cross my legs or do anything.
Oh yeah, well
Like-
you could do what David did on his episode and cross it right over. Yep.
Wow, that's
looks-
nice actually.
What?
That's actually not too bad.
No, it looks unbearably uncomfortable. That was the whole bit that we did. You guys can watch that episode. Which, speaking of that, I do hope we have guests. And, like, I don't know if we're going to do both of us on or just back to me with guests. But it's going to be exciting
I think
seeing.
it'd be nice to do a combination of both. Like,
Yeah.
I'll do a guest one, you do a guest one, we both do a guest together.
You want to do guest ones alone?
I mean, sure, why not?
You have your own pod, bro.
Yeah, dude, I'm trying to be a podcaster as part of my personality.
This person, yeah.
Like, I want to.
It is
I wanna
pretty
do
cool.
The thing. I procrastinated for so fucking long, and it's like now I'm ready to embody podcaster.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is pretty cool.
Like all of my favorite podcasters are like 4 podcasts deep.
Do they have 4 podcasts, or do they like just go on like do they produce them?
They
or...
produce 4, go on hundreds.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm producing 4. I'm producing 4 right now. Yeah.
So I'm producing 2 now, huh?
Yeah. If are you promoting yourself to co-producer?
Yeah. Didn't you already do that?
Dylan is now co-producer of Realistic Intentionality.
I am a producer of 2 podcasts. That feels good to say.
It
That's
does.
nice. That's nice.
You already have more subscribers than me, so
Oh yeah.
good on ya.
Yeah, but I cheated a little bit.
It was a shell account. It was our old account, which had we known that we were going to end up merging, we probably would have just stayed with our old platform.
I mean, we still could technically, but
Yeah.
whatever.
It was all right. We used to do like vlogs and videos on a channel called Humans Dreaming, which is wiped. You can't find it anymore. But then I was like, oh, I'm just going to do Realistic Intentionality. You can just do whatever. But then I ended up bringing you on here, and now I'm producing yours. It's like we did a lot of extra steps.
Yeah, you know, we've just been kind of learning and growing and just doing whatever feels right at the time.
Yeah, hindsight 2020, it's whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's good that yours is on a separate platform, because I have a feeling it is going to be more of the like esoteric,
Yeah.
like more of the stuff that I am passionate about, but I don't personally feel the need to talk about all the time.
Yeah.
So
I
that'll
mean, they kind of go hand in hand together, but yours is more of the, I don't know. I feel like yours is a little bit more
embodiment.
like logical, more internal, more like maybe
Psychology, yeah.
psychological. Whereas mine, I want to go in more the direction of like, just like, I don't even know.
Yours is like the knowledge and like the passions and the considerations, and then mine is like how you can use those to like plug into your own
Yeah,
life.
mine's more like theoretical or more mystical.
Yeah, topical, right? Like you're
Yeah.
just gonna kind of talk about things.
So I'm trying to build habits around like, I want to get to a point. I want to look up other podcasters and like what their schedule looks like, especially like podcasters with day jobs. Like how do they implement daily things to like, the whole if it's not growing, it's dying. Like, okay, what are some little habits that I can do every day? Like even if I'm not editing a video or marketing, like just what are some of the things that podcasters do to be a podcaster every day in their daily habits?
Yeah.
And so that's where I'm at right now with that.
I'll tell you what, some of my goals. I really want to redo our studio because we thought we were moving and then it didn't happen. And so as much as we still plan on moving in the hopefully next year, I want to like redo all these shelves because I've gotten a bunch of like new things and I think I want to redo some of that. And we're going to refinish this couch because I got it used and I got it for free. And the purple was like really faded. And then I guess at some point Sophie stepped in bleach and then she got her like bleach paw print on it. And then she also peed on it, which we've talked about on pods before. And just like our whole house just kind of like reeks of piss and it's really upsetting and like embarrassing. And like part of me struggling to book guests is the guests themselves, but then also like me not reaching out to as many people because I'm just like, oh, I gotta clean the house, it smells like piss, all this stuff. So I definitely am like, if we want to make the habit, if we want to make the habit of like booking guests and hustling on content, it would be nice to have a studio where everything's already set up, everything's already clean, and everything's ready to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so
make it easy.
Yeah, we don't have a door on the one entrance of our studio. We just have like a dog gate. So we're talking about like trying to build like a little like double door situation.
Which is a great idea looking at it.
Right, because it doesn't come in, it goes out. And if we had a whole door going out, it would completely block like where our living room is. So if we have double doors, it'd just be like less.
We could probably make it come in too. We definitely could, but anywho.
Yeah.
That would be better.
But yeah, hopefully then this space will just kind of stay cleaner. And yeah, hopefully when we move, we'll move somewhere where we can have a space that's even more like niched out because right now this studio is also serving as a music studio, as storage, as an office, as our altar, as our yoga room. And I feel like all of those things are fighting for their like spotlight in this room, that it is like none of them are really happening. I mean the podcast, but because of the podcast and constantly needing it ready for guests, I don't really use the office that I could in here. And then we were just talking about how we're trying to play guitar more. The guitars are always in a closet. So I'm definitely trying to, as like the book advises, like shift your environment to then better it. So I really do hope that we move somewhere that we own and that then we can kind of appoint or build different spaces. Like I've seen people make like sheds into like podcast rooms. I don't know if I would do that because I like that guests have a bathroom.
Yeah, that would be super cool. I thought about doing that. Like when we looked at some of the places with like a 2-car garage or something.
Right.
Like having a studio out there.
I think that would be good for like an art studio. Like that'd be good for my paint, because then if paint gets in a shed, it's like not a big deal and stuff.
Yeah, and we definitely need some guitar hooks, like the things to hang guitars on the walls, because then they're out of the floor space, but they're in visual.
Right.
Like we can see them. We walk past them every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to get the instruments out of, like, not in sight.
Right.
That's a huge one.
Oh yeah.
Another huge goal and habit that I'm trying to implement, like max goal, max habit right now for our future and home and all that stuff, is like saving money.
Right. Okay. Yes. I'm sorry.
As soon as this is over, I want to go to the bank and put some money in the bank.
Yes.
As soon as we're done
so
here.
You were saying that, and I think finances is something we should dive into. Which I feel bad. I feel like people probably thought 10 minutes ago we were wrapping up, but psych, we weren't. We just hit a lull in conversation because it happens sometimes. Okay. This isn't scripted, But
I'm still trying to wake up, so.
I stole his thunder within the first 5 minutes, okay? We've been trying to figure out what the heck we would be talking about. Yeah, so finances, right? Your goal is trying to save. So it's like, how can we then do the cue response loop for that?
Okay. Q will be payday. Money hits my account.
Yeah. Anytime you get money.
Yeah.
Like, for whatever reason, anytime money comes in.
But specifically, like, the chunk paycheck, like the big chunk of the week.
So then that's going to trigger you to either want to save it or spend it. Mm-hmm. And now, obviously, with money, it's tough.
Usually, okay, so at the moment, my first cue, like, paycheck hits, I look at what bills are coming up, and that's, like, the first thing I do. Before anything else, like, bills for, like, I usually try to, like, knock out, like, half the bills in one paycheck, half the bills in the next paycheck, and then have some, like, relaxation time, like some paychecks that nothing comes out of. So it's like, those should definitely, like, a massive chunk of that should be getting put in savings, and it just hasn't been. So it's like, I need to get in the habit every single paycheck of, like, putting something in there regardless. But then the ones where the bills don't come out of, putting, like, a big chunk of it in savings.
Yeah, I almost was just thinking that, like, it would almost be smart to get your direct deposit in an account that you have less access to, and then you have to make it inconvenient to take the money out, or you link the car payments and, like, whatever to it automatically.
See, I've tried the auto invest or the auto save methods already, and those don't work because I end up having too much go in and then just taking it out later in the week and having to spend it. So it's like, that's not, but I have access to it. What's working really good is how we have this savings for our house savings.
Right.
Account,
but
I don't have access to it. I mean, I do, but it's very inconvenient, like you said.
Yeah.
I need the convenience to be there for my paycheck because I got to, like, pay bills and stuff. But, yeah, I just need to, like, as soon as, like, the number's at its biggest, which is right when you get paid, it's like, at that point, I need to, okay, what do I need to put bills to? And then while this number's at the biggest it's going to be, like, after the bills, but before any money's spent, it's like,
that's where, like,
big
budgeting
chunk of that and go to the savings.
That's where budgeting would come in, right? Where it's like, if you can know for a fact.
Oh, the B word. Yeah, I need to get on that too.
Because it's like, if we know for a fact, like, okay, we have this much for groceries, we have this much for, like, recreation, right, for funsies, and then we have, whatever for the expenses, then you can comfortably divide that up. Instead of keeping more in the accessible account and then kind of, like, tricking your mind into being like, oh, well, we have this much to spend.
Right.
It's like, really, we should budget frugally. Try to make a frugal budget where it's like, we are not spending more than we need, and then have that number divided the minute paycheck hits. Do that. Stash all of the money away in that bank account and be like, this is it, Right. So it almost be like,
that's the whole, like, living like you're poor to get rich.
Right. Well, like, rich people often live
it's
with
the habit.
Yeah.
It's the system. It's like live below your means.
Simply,
so
Yeah. So then it's like, okay, so the trigger is to either spend or to save, but really with expenses, you're going to do both. So it's like the response is making it, that would be making it, well, spending is attractive, but saving is also attractive. So it's like they're competing, right? So you have to make the spending unattractive.
Right, exactly, right.
Where it's like, if we have a budget, then it's like, I don't want to break that budget. That's unattractive. And that also makes
the unattractive thing is, like, seeing a lower number in the account than it could be.
Right. And then
it's like, that'll make it unattractive.
Satisfying and making it unsatisfying is like,
seeing the number grow in the savings is also attractive.
And it's unsatisfying to have to be like, oh, we need to spend more money, so I have to go to the bank and go into our mortgage savings account.
That is just
That's
That
very
is
unsatisfying.
atrocious.
That's so unsatisfying.
That's the worst of the worst.
So it's like the quicker and the bigger amounts we get into that account, we're home free.
Yeah.
We're not gonna want to go get that.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I haven't even, not even activating the card attached to that account.
Right.
Like that. We have the card, but it's not even activated. And I
Yeah.
never want to. It's there in case of like super emergency, but other
Right.
than that. Yeah.
So yeah, finances are tough. I definitely think
Yeah.
implementing a budget.
I don't know what the resistance to like the budget is, but that's a difficult one. I feel like for a lot of people.
I know I wanted to budget for so long, but then you were, an active addiction, so you did not want the expenses being looked at.
Well, so that made sense why I was resistant to it at that time.
Right.
But now that's not the case, and there's still the resistance.
Right. You were well,
It's not even a resistance at this point. It's just like laziness.
right. A few months ago it was definitely resistance because I think you felt threatened. I think you were like so much of your view of your man. Oh my god, I'm analyzing you.
It's okay. I'm in front of your face.
Yeah. It doesn't count as
It's not behind my back.
But like I think so much. I feel bad now. Do you want my analysis?
Sure.
I
That's not gossip, babe. You.
No, I
giving me a
know, but
perspective
I
of something.
shouldn't start psychoanalyzing you without like
It's okay.
consent.
It's okay for me. We're together. Maybe to a random person on the street.
I don't know if that is healthy, but I asked for consent and you said yes. So you want my 2 cents, I will give you my 2 cents. So I think that you had tied being able to handle the finances so deeply with your sense of manhood and as a breadwinner. And is this all correct so far?
It's part of it.
That
Yeah.
I think me saying that we needed a budget and me asking for involvement and stuff really threatened that for you.
Yeah, not too much really. Doesn't really threaten that. And
Incorrect analysis.
no. And I've also tried to get you to get involved, and I
Well,
don't think
okay, so
you
yes,
you
as of
wanted to get
recent-
you wanted to get involved until I very much openly invited you to become involved, and then I think you realized that you didn't actually want to be involved.
No. So that's not what happened. Yeah. So
Because I've asked
last
you
few
numerous
months-
times
the
to
last
like
few
come
months-
join me at the table to like.
that was always after work at your old
we
schedule.
couldn't sync up on times.
Right.
Like when I would want to like do money talk, you wouldn't have the energy to do money talk.
Right. So like you would want to talk about money at the end of the day. Okay, so you didn't want to get involved with a budget. Then you started wanting to get involved with a budget, which I was glad about. But then you would want to talk about the budget on weekdays after work when it'd be really late because you would get home late.
Then I
we'd
would
never
do
have
all of my
time.
meal prep. And
Right.
it would
And
be
so
late, yeah.
I was fried. I did not have the brain capacity. Then I would want to do it on weekends and you'd be like, I don't want to think about money. I don't want to think about work because it's a weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And so we really need to like set the intention like tomorrow, like right after, like that we are going to, and then kind of remember our psychology. And like, it's almost like where Atomic Habits comes in for me is then like where it comes into like mindful decision making. So it's like when we are out and about and I really want Chipotle because I always want Chipotle, I need to remember like we have food at home, and that would be so much more satisfying knowing that money can get saved.
That's also a struggle that I've had is like I never want to tell you no when it comes to money things because I know like in your past and in our past you would get real. I feel like it would like trigger your fear response when you felt like we were low on money. So like when you asked it to like spend money or something out, it's hard for me to say no because I don't want you to feel like
it was hard
we can't
when you
afford
were
it.
in active addiction. It was a resent thing because I'd be so resentful that you would have all this money for your addictions, but God forbid I wanted to eat out. You know what I mean? Because there were
Right.
years that you were spending money on yourself every single day, and I would like not get anything for myself for weeks to months.
Right.
And so it was like so it was a lot of resentment, right? And then when things started improving, and then I feel like also a lot of my desires are like, I'm so exhausted, I don't want to cook. I don't want to have more dishes. So then I want to eat out. Or like, there were so many things that were put on the back burner for so many years because of the addictions that now I'm trying to play catch up. Like, we just got internet. You know what I mean? It's like we couldn't have put that off anymore. We spent our entire relationship not having internet. Like,
not having Wi-Fi. We always had internet.
Well,
we always had like
we had
phones and hotspot.
Right, but like not actual. And so it's like we're almost playing catch up in a way, but I have to like remind myself that there's some things that like the convenience of like not having dishes and eating out one night, it's like worth just doing the dishes to like save that money.
Yeah.
And like, you know, yes, it's like a bummer that we like don't go on vacations. Like we're not a vacationing family, but like that our time will come.
It will come.
Yeah, it's
especially now that I have a job that has a vacation fund.
Right, but we're probably going to use that for the mortgage.
For sure, we can do a small trip, but like yeah, the chunks that'll be coming from that will be going towards down payment.
Yeah,
at least this year.
Yeah, I want to figure out a trip that we can like take Sophie with and stuff, and try to do like a frugal trip.
Yeah.
Because like there's so many things you can do in the world, and so many things you can see that you don't have to spend a lot of money on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you feel like that was a good read for you?
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah. I definitely took a little bit to get going. I was definitely half asleep in the beginning.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I woke up halfway through and
it was an easy read. It's real short.
Oh, the book itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you think I was saying?
I thought you were talking about this pod, like
how
we did on this pod.
Oh.
The book was great. Yeah.
Yes, let's analyze Dylan on the pod live and grade him on his performance.
Why were you falling asleep in the first 10 minutes?
I've been like choking and like coughing all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So.
No, the book is super easy to read. Well, I listened to it, but yeah.
It's quick.
It's very it's very like it like connects dots the whole time. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And it's like, I don't know, like I found that like I had implemented. Sometimes I'll read a book and it like doesn't stick, mm-hmm. or like, you know, I can't recall anything from it. But like this book, definitely listening to it recently versus when you were going through it, I didn't even realize how much of it I had already implemented, and like how much actually stuck just from the secondhand information that I was getting from you.
Right. I haven't really truly, guys, I'm the worst. I haven't actually implemented much on it, but it does give me I'm so much up here rather than out here, like where most of my work happens in here. So it's been kind of priming a lot of my understandings, like being able to be like, okay, how can we put our finances into that model? How can we put you waking up into that model, or me not gossiping into that model? It like allows me to do that so that in the day to day I can start being aware of where my systems are failing, or where my environment's failing, or like things that need to be improved upon, and then I can know that. So I haven't actually really like hardcore implemented it yet, but I think we're gonna follow back maybe in 3 months or so. I don't know. No concrete schedule, but at some point we will hop back on the pod and we'll talk about it after we've done that. And maybe we'll look into some other habit stuff. If you guys like this episode of the first one of the Real Intentions podcast of its new vibe and era, if you'd like this, please let us know. If there's anything you would want us to talk about, any books you would want us to read, let us know. We're down for it. And let me know if this has helped you, and if you've read Atomic Habits, or if you're gonna now. It'd be really cool. Yeah. And, you know, please don't forget to subscribe if you're on YouTube, follow if you're on Spotify, and feel free to go on all the platforms and show us some love.
Check me out. Come show some support. Wandering Waters.
That's not this pod, Dill.
Yep, but I'm plugging it. I'm plugging my podcast.
No.
Any podcast
Before you go to Wandering Waters, make sure that you're subscribed and followed here, because he's already got more subscribers than me. You don't need the plugging. I need the plugging.
Okay. Forget me. Realistic intentionality.
Dude,
check her out.
Check
us out.
I brought Dill on because he's so much more likable than me.
What? Yeah, right, dude. You're so much better than this than I am.
I just got boobs.
You do. You do, and they're likable.
They're likable. Other than that, you're way more likable.
They are likable. They're
All
lovable.
All right. Please give us a 5-star review on Spotify and share this to a friend. Help us out. It helps our livelihood because obviously we need it.
And it just makes us feel good. It gives us dopamine.
Easy dopamine.
Go up. Yeah. Hook us up. We're struggling out here,
so
dude.
sorry,
Give us some
dying.
dopamine.
Yeah, please. All right. Thank you guys. Please know that you are worthy of being a winner. You are worthy of having winning routines. You deserve to have things be easy, attractive. Wait, no, that's not it. Obvious, easy, attractive, and satisfying.
Yes.
You deserve to break your habits. And please know you deserve to create the life that you exist for. Thank you so much. We'll see you later. Bye.